Welcome into DNVR Bets Daily. Wow, that is loud in my ears. I hope you guys enjoyed that intro. It's our new intro. Getting better every day, you know. Andre, I have to say, you and the DNVR bar really changed my day around because I was having a catastrophic day. Before I came here, started hanging out with you. We're actually both at the DNVR bar right now, just in different locations. We don't want to show off the whole bar. We might as well, right? So, of course, I am down here in the bar. You are up there in the company bar.
I'm professing up here, yes.
Exactly. So I have to tell you, I today suffered the worst beat of my career, of my entire betting life. This was just tragic. Let me take you through this. So, remember yesterday I told you DraftKings hit me with a plus 100 odds boost. That means double the odds on anything you want. And I just woke up feeling a little sassy, you know. I was like, I could just take a heavy favorite and get them down to a less heavy favorite and walk away with, $50 or something here, but I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna swing for the fences. So I parlay three pretty heavy favorites here. I parlay Tottenham, Wolves, and Manchester City all to win straight up. Now, this is the curse of death. I went through and I looked at the odds if I do tie no bet and this, that, and the other thing. As soon as you do that, you're dead in the water. But anyways, I end up settling on just going for it straight up, all three teams to win. Manchester City takes an early 1-0 lead. Tottenham gets a 2-0 lead at one point, even though they kind of had to sweat it out a little bit at the end because Bournemouth scored. But then they scored again in the 90th. And so then it's down to Wolves. And they're 0-0 in like around the 70th minute. And I'm just thinking to myself, man, it would suck if my Wolves were the one to blow this. Yes. Well, a nice, beautiful volley from Raul Jimenez picks the corner, outstretched arms of the goalie. We've got the 1-0 lead. We are 3 protected leads away from a 7. Wait, what would it have been? It would have
15-17.
It would have been like a 15-unit win for me if they hold it on to it. And Tottenham holds on. Man City holds on. And it's just down. There's one game left. It's Wolves. They've got a 1-0 lead. And the goalie makes a little mistake, and he comes out, and he's halfway in between. And then there's a header back into the middle. And there is a guy standing right in front of the goal with the ball right there, unmarked. He somehow heads it and misses. From me to the camera here, he's in the goal, he might as well be, and he somehow misses, and I thought, oh my God, I've done it. That's going to be the last chance. Well, the next time they get the ball, Burnley that is, they are scrambling around. They lay one into the box. A dude goes for a bicycle kick. He's going to come nowhere near it, but a Wolves defender is flying in with an elbow, and the ball glances off his elbow inside the box. The ref, it was pretty inconspicuous from my view. The ref sees it instantly, points to the spot. I'm like, what is happening? They go to VAR. He definitely hit it with his arm. They check to see if maybe one of the guys was offside before that. He wasn't. It's a penalty. And so now I'm sitting here watching this, just praying this dude misses, and he absolutely blasts it to the point where I think it might go over. No, it's like upper 90, back right corner, like the perfect penalty you could ever take. And there goes what would have been one of my best wins in a long time goes down as one of my worst losses of my life.
Yeah, and it reminded me a lot of me losing out on Atalanta on Saturday. And when I texted you right before the Wolves scored, like, man, we really need the Wolves.
It's just Wolves. It's just Wolves.
Right,
it's not the Wolves.
I forgot that. Right. I texted you before Wolves scored, and they score right away. And I was getting vibes from Wednesday when I went 10-0 because the same thing happened. As soon as I texted you, everything I needed to happen started to fall through. And as you said, we were looking pretty. I'd already moved on to my Italian soccer parlays, but then Wolves completely blew it, and that was a really tough one. Really tough.
Yeah, that was absolutely brutal. I honestly, I texted you. It felt like one of my favorite teams just lost a playoff game. And to be honest, they kind of did because they needed 3 points there to stay in the hunt for the Champions League. There's an outside chance now. They're going to need Man U and Leicester to both, what the bed. And they're going to have to get it back together. Now they've had 2 95th minute heartbreakers in the last week. I feel like I should have just bandwagoned one of the good teams in the EPL, and I would have gone through this pain.
We still would have lost this money. We had this parlay. Our guys on Twitter had this parlay. Everyone was in on it, and we were looking perfect until the very last minute.
Oh,
unreal.
Bringing back these memories is taking me back to the state I was right after it happened. Okay. Absolute gut punch. But what can you do? You got to move on. And then I remembered that I called Collin Morikawa to win the tournament last week, and it made me feel a lot better. We've got UFC tonight here at the DNVR bar. It's on ESPN. It'll be on here. We encourage you guys to come down. Andre and I will be here watching the fight. Allie's going to watch the fights with us. Anyone and everyone who wants to come down, you can get yourself a member beer. I don't know if you know it, but if you're a DNVR member and you come to the DNVR bar, you get a 22-ounce beer for the price of just a 16-ounce beer. And let me tell you, those things, they look big, but they go down quick, especially if you get some Breck Brew in the cup. So come down, enjoy yourself a member beer, watch the fights with us. If you come in, I always try to remind people of this. If you come in, make sure you come up to us and say hi. We're always down to chat. Sometimes we don't know if people want to talk to us or not, so we don't want to go intrude on your dinner if you don't even know who the hell we are. But if you do know who we are, come say what up, and we'll talk Broncos, UFC, Buffs, EPL, whatever. Yeah, sure. Me and Andre will talk any sports anytime. And that leads us to one sport that we talked about last week that we are set to talk about again here. And Andre, I've got a pick for you that is going to make your head spin. Not because I'm going so far down the odds sheet, but because you're just going to wonder after I explain to you why I'm taking this guy. Why is he so far down the odds sheet? So one thing that we learned last week is there are 2 things that this course, Muirfield Village, really, really values. It's hitting fairways and strong iron play. Collin Morikawa, he was hitting lots of fairways, and he is one of the best strikers of the ball. He's so great with his irons. I believe he and JT are 1 and 2 in the PGA Tour in terms of strokes gained on approach shots, meaning they're putting it close. They're getting themselves easy putts. And it should be noted that Collin Morikawa is not a great putter. He hasn't been leading up to this. He's 150th in the PGA in putting. So what you learn from this is, one, obviously the closer you hit it, you don't have to putt as good as well. But also that this isn't one of those courses that is extremely demanding on the flat stick. You can putt your way around this thing without being an ace with the putter. Right. So that leads me to one player. I went through a couple here. I did kind of my own little metrics as I was putting together my picks here, and I don't know. I was going back and forth, and then I thought, here's the guy. I found the guy based on my own system that I created that churns out winners.
Well,
I
this is a new system.
No, the system is my gut, and
okay.
So driving, great with their irons, and there's one other thing I wanted to look for. A guy who's won here at Muirfield Village before. So I come to a man who sits way, way down the odds sheet at 200 to 1, Andre. 200 to 1. The man who will win the tournament this week, the memorial at Muirfield Village, the house that Jack built. Jim Furyk. Mark it down.
Oh boy.
Number 1 in driving accuracy
Yep.
in the entire PGA, and he's 18th in strokes gained on approach, so he's very high up there.
Mhm.
This guy is just Mr. Consistency, and they're going to let that rough go out from last week. You're going to get way more penalized for missing fairways. This guy hits 77% of fairways. Watch out. No Bryson DeChambeau hitting the ball 380 yards, which we'll talk about later. Jim Furyk with nice little 300, 310, maybe even 290-yard drives, wins this tournament with consistency.
Death by a million paper cuts. That's what you are saying will happen here.
Exactly.
I could see it. Accuracy coming through. Definitely, they are not going to make it so that 19 under is all that possible on this same course 2 weeks in a row. I know that's kind of a big priority here. So I don't know. Does that create more unexpected winners? There's also a ton of value because this field of 131 participants, it's probably the richest field of any PGA tournament we've had thus far since sports have returned. Right?
Yeah, you can find guys at 50 to 1 with huge names. I mean, we're talking, Bubba Watsons, and that's maybe not a good example. Justin Rose, who's been playing really good golf lately, he's 50 to 1 in some places, and I believe at DraftKings Sportsbook. So
60 to 1, I think.
There you go.
Yeah.
There is a lot of value to be had here, but I'm all in on Jim Furyk. Jim Furyk is the winner this week. I'm calling my shot. It's a heat check. I had Collin Morikawa last week. Just start cutting up the video right now of all the times I mentioned Jim Furyk on this podcast, because Jim Furyk is going to win at Memorial this weekend. He won there back in 2002. Yeah, he's not a young buck, but he's got experience here. He's going to wake up tomorrow morning. He's going to walk up to the first tee, and he's going to feel like he can win this tournament because he knows he's done it here before. He shot a 65 on Sunday back in 2002 to win the tournament. He's got what it takes. Accuracy and approach. The killer A's, Andre. Going for that. Jim Furyk wins the tournament.
Accuracy over distance.
Yep.
Your argument makes sense until I start to think, boy, there's another golfer in this field that checks off all these boxes. He's won here before, just a mere few days ago. And his name is Collin Morikawa. He's a legend for us. So, and are you getting insane odds at plus 2,200? No, you could get better odds for Tiger at plus 2,500. Which is, as you'd expect, what the public is hammering home, and the sharps, and everyone's hammering Tiger here. But it's Jim Furyk. You make a case. Abe Answer's in that group. Justin Rose is nice, but Morikawa is still there, and I wonder if you're turning on Morikawa too soon.
I'm not turning on Morikawa because if I was betting top tens and doing all that stuff still. I would take Morikawa to finish high. 8 good rounds in a row at the same place. I don't know anyone who's done that. And it's rare for there to be 2 tournaments in the same place anyway. But I mean, he had a struggle round in there, so really, I guess he probably needs to go 6 of 8. Really good rounds here. He actually isn't as high on the driving accuracy list as you might expect because he's pretty consistent with that club. But I think that this week it's going to be extra valuable to hit the fairway. And I think that, he was just a little squirrely with it at times, which is why he didn't shoot a great round on Saturday. So I don't know. I'm taking the guy who's going to put it out there in the middle every time. So while I'm at it, I'm going to take Jim Furyk to beat Ches Reavie and Andrew Putnam. Nice. He's not going to be putting them very well tomorrow, I'll tell you that. That's plus 165 for Jim Furyk to win his group.
Okay.
I'm going to take Jim Furyk to beat Ches Reavie straight up. That's plus 115. This is the Collin Morikawa experience here.
Yes.
Just doing what I did last week, hammering one guy.
Yep.
And then, of course, we're going to take Jim Furyk to win the tournament at 200 to 1. Heck, let's say he goes out and has a good round tomorrow. The buyout on this thing is going to be insane.
Yes, that's true. That's absolutely true. And even, top 10 or top 20, you're getting really nice value, right? Isn't he like plus 1,000 to go top 10?
Plus, has better odds to go top 10 this week than Morikawa had to win the tournament last week. So actually, sorry, top 5. Top 5 is plus 3,300. So there you go. Those are that's my guy. I still have more here, and we got tips from a pro this week. We're going to my guy Spencer Smith. He's the pro out at Spring Valley Golf Club.
Nice.
Loves to get in some action on golf, and so I asked for his picks this week. We'll get to those. Let me hear what you got, though. I know you like Morikawa.
I like Morikawa. I'm going to be sprinkling value here, playing some the buyout game. I think I'm owed this week. And I like Sanjay Im, who's, a top 10 ranked golfer. You're getting him in the plus 7,000s. I like Abe Answer, who you can get in the plus 5,000s. I like Justin Rose, who you can get in the plus 6,000. So that's kind of the sprinkling I'll be going for. But yeah, I like Morikawa in these matchups. I think, especially because he's being put up against some much better competition here too. I think he might have some surprises for us tomorrow. In fact, let's see what the juiciest group is for him. Against Ricky Fowler at minus 120.
Ricky hasn't done much lately.
Stinks. Ricky's terrible. So
it's so bad to say. I hate you for saying that. I love Ricky.
Well, I like him as much as the next guy, but I'm not trying to lose money on him to no end. Now, if you went with the 6 shooters, Collins with Dustin, DJ, Shoffley, Peter Cantley, Bryson, and JT. And you can get them at plus 500.
All the favorites.
Yeah, all the favorites minus, a couple like Tiger and what have you. Yeah.
And that leads me to Tiger. So do you want to take – what are you taking? I haven't heard any commitments from you yet.
You want to commit? I'm sprinkling all around. Do you want a commitment for the winner of the tournament?
No. I just want to hear. Are you sprinkling the 6 shooter? Are you taking the Ricky bet? Or what are you taking here?
I'm taking the Ricky bet. That's the locked in. Yes.
Okay.
I'll be sprinkling all around. A lot of the sprinkling too is dependent from how well we do on UFC tonight. Let's be real here.
And as I look over, the undercard has begun and is on here at the DNVR bar. So hey, if you're just sitting at home thinking I'm hungry, you can come here, watch some of the undercard. Lots of fun stuff going on here tonight at the DNVR bar. So come hang out with us and get yourself a beer, and we'll talk about why Jim Furyk's going to win this tournament. See, you can get a beer just like this one. Actually, yours would be bigger. She's got the softy size.
Yeah, I got the regular. If you're not a member, this is the size beer you get.
Imagine not being a member. Okay, so I've got a couple more bets here.
Okay.
And they are lighting up the board with Tiger Woods bets. You can bet on what side of the bed he's going to wake up on tomorrow, which shoe he's going to put on first. If Tiger Woods is doing something, you can bet on it. And I'm going to bet on it. So here's an official pick. Tiger Woods to go under 69.5 tomorrow.
Okay.
So, 3 under. I think this is the scouting report is watching him play in that tournament against Phil and Brady. Now, he had no pressure on him, and he absolutely waxed everyone in that tournament. But man, he was driving the ball consistently, and when he does that, he's almost unbeatable. At least he used to be unbeatable. Now he's going to contend when he's driving the ball consistently. So I think he's going to have.
The under should be pretty comfortable, I guess, when you put it that way.
Yeah. Exactly.
And you were telling me you feel he's going to go for a nice 68.
I think he will shoot 68. And there you go. Tiger Woods to go under 68.5 is boosted right now from plus 225 to plus 250. And that right there is a pretty darn good value, I think, because under 69.5 has only plus 105. So you're more than doubling the value there for one stroke. Now, there's a big difference between shooting 3 under and 4 under. Tomorrow, 3 under will probably be in the top 20, and 4 under has a very good chance to be in the top 5.
Right.
So take that as you will. Here's some other Tiger bets. So officially, I'm giving out the under 69.5.
Okay.
Maybe not officially, but I like this bet. Tiger Woods to have an eagle in the first round plus 705. Now, the reason I like this one is because that's insane value. He's got 4 par 5s. This is a par 72 course. And, man, he can hit the heck out of his long irons. And I think there's a chance he just ends up with like a tap-in eagle. And the truth is, if you're going to bet him to go under 69.5 or under 68.5, well, this is kind of like doubling down on your own bet here, because if he eagles a hole, there's a very good chance he's going to be in that area. There were a lot of eagles out there last week. This is not a course that makes it very difficult to get eagles. You know, they were out there, and I think that he gets one tomorrow. Plus, 7-1 on that.
Yeah, is he accurate enough on those setup shots on those 4 par 5s to give himself? You're making that a plus 700 an official pick?
No, but I'm just giving it out as one that I like.
Great value.
Exactly, great value. Okay, let's get into the picks here from my guy Spencer Smith. Awesome dude, and like I said, the golf pro out there at Spring Valley, and he's pretty dialed in when it comes to these picks. So listen up. We've done pretty good when we bring in expert opinions here. And I think Spencer has some good ones here. So he's got a few here, starting with the top 10s. He's got Patrick Cantlay to finish in the top 10. That's a plus 150 bet. He told me he finished last Sunday really, really well. Thinks he can ride that momentum.
Okay.
Xander Schauffele to make in the top 10. His comment here: X-Man steps up in big events. And it was he was one outside of the top 10 last week. He finished at 11 or whatever, T12, something like that. So just one shot out last week. I like that. Did you know that this is the strongest field assembled for a mainstream tour event ever?
I believe it, man. I mean, this field is stacked. You sometimes on a regular schedule, you don't get majors with this type of talent.
Yeah, this is pretty crazy. Everyone wants to play at the Memorial this year.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my favorite one of his picks, and I almost gave it out as mine, but then I realized I got the idea from him. Listen to the defense of this one. He's got Bryson DeChambeau's longest drive in the first round, over 355.5 yards.
Yes.
Last week at Muirfield Village, 40 drives were hit over 355 yards, and that's in the field.
Mm-hmm.
And Bryson, of course, is number 1 in tour distance. He's on pace to have the longest average drive in the history of the PGA. He absolutely blasts the ball.
Yeah.
The catch here, I guess, is that you have to hit the fairway for it to count. You can blast it as far as you want. If you're 1 inch in the rough, does not count. But he's accurate. I mean, he gets it out there. He's accurate. He's going to have quite a few chances. Here's what he says. He could get it as early as hole 1, but may take until 13 or 17, but he'll get there. And I just love this.
I like this a lot.
I'm all over this. I don't necessarily love DeChambeau, but I like watching him rip it. And Spencer joked that he took the week off last week to get in the gym more and beef up even more. And so he'll be ready to go.
The Bryson method. Yeah. I like that a lot. Where can our listeners even find that beautiful Bryson over 350 in round 1?
So you're going to go to, of course, the Memorial Tournament, scroll over to Tournament Props. This is, of course, on DraftKings Sportsbook. And it's just over after Tournament Specials. They have DeChambeau Specials. And there's one more here that I was actually thinking of taking the under, but Spencer kind of talked me out of it. Longest drive in the tournament for DeChambeau.
Yeah.
It's set at 380.5, which is so absurd that it's that high.
Yeah.
And I was ready to hit the under because that seems absurd to me. But with, of course, at the same course last week, you had 3 drives over 380, including a 394-yard drive from Phil Mickelson on number 17. I think he's going to have, we'll call it conservatively 50 chances with the driver. Right. He's probably going to get one over. I don't want either one. I'm going to stay away from that one because it just seems I don't like it. I want to stay away from that.
I love the over here. And, Bryson wasn't in that field there last week either.
I know, but
give him all these chances. He makes the cut, right? You don't have any fear that Bryson doesn't make the cut.
You would assume that he makes the cut, yes.
Yeah, I mean, he's just killing. He's the hottest golfer on the tour right now. Man, that's enticing. That's real enticing.
If I were you, I assume they're going to set it at 355 every day.
Mm-hmm.
And so
if you just hammer that,
I would just go back to that well every day.
Not bad. What about Bryson under 69.5?
I don't know. I don't like that he took a week off when he was hot, to be honest. It just seems silly to me. I would have played it in every tournament I could have possibly gotten into.
Yeah, what's even the thinking when golfers take time off? Like, give me a break. You're a golfer.
Yeah, what do they have? Friends and family or something? Right. Our guy Chris Hill comes in and says, I'm not Bryson DeChambeau, but I had a 320-yard drive yesterday in Breckenridge. Now, it's a little different doing it at 10,000 feet, but
yeah.
we'll give him that's probably a 20% boost when you're up that high. So 32, and still, about 280. Good drive, Chris.
Right. Yeah, pretty solid.
Wouldn't you love to see Bryson come play up in a mountain course in Colorado?
Oh, I would love that. Yeah, that'd be amazing. Are you kidding?
He might break the sound barrier.
Yeah, for real. No, I really like Bryson. I'm almost counting on Bryson having like a rough front nine and being able to get an extra like 150 on him and start hammering.
Yeah, I don't, something about him I don't feel confident in. One person I do feel really confident in is Justin Thomas.
The favorite in this tournament.
That guy just plays such smooth golf. Well,
the stat you were telling me, he didn't have a bogey for like 60 consecutive holes, something insane.
He started he was the first player or the second player ever to go 54 straight holes at Muirfield Village without a bogey. He didn't have a bogey in the first 3 days of the tournament. He finally bogeyed, I don't remember which hole it was, on Sunday, but he went 54 holes straight, only the second person ever. Chris Hill must be late to the party here because he says, is Thomas this week last week's Morikawa? No. This week's Morikawa is Jim Furyk, Chris. Jim Furyk is the guy we're rolling with. He's 200-1 to win the tournament, and he might win the tournament by 200 strokes as far as I'm concerned. So Jim Furyk
already suggested to me, Chris, that I use my 100% odds boost on Jim Furyk because the 200-1 isn't enough. Why not 400-1, right?
I mean, imagine you put that just $5, 400-1. That's 2 G's.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I'd be happy. Yeah.
So anyways, or you just put the max, I think they allow 50 on that odds boost, and what's that? 20 G's, right?
Right.
There you go.
Right. Cantley, interesting enough, is the past champion here at Memorial.
Yeah. He's another guy who's usually in the fairway. And I think that's going to be so valuable this week. So, but I will say, any bet involving Justin Thomas, I would feel confident in as well. The way that man hits shots so smooth, everything just looks so in control for him. And yeah, he let that one drive on the third playoff hole leak right, and it cost him the tournament last week. But aside from that, he played such clean golf. It's just what he does. He plays clean golf. So, if you're looking for a more favorable name that you want to get some money in. And, of course, the last one Spencer gave us here, he says he's taking Tiger to win. And I really can't knock the logic there. Tiger has won 5 times here. 5 times. Yeah. If he gets locked in on his tee shots, he's the type of guy who could just go ahead and run away with this thing. No one's feeling more comfortable when they wake up tomorrow than Tiger Woods.
I mean, it's hard to go against Tiger. You're getting him at good value. Any reason why Sungjae Im is getting such little love?
He's not a finisher. I don't know.
Well,
he's
he hasn't
really
played well, right? Like since we've returned to having tournaments, he hasn't done.
Yeah, maybe you go like Sungjae top 20. that's something that's worth betting every week probably. Just because he's that type of guy who's going to get into contention. He's not a great putter of the ball, Andre, and that keeps him from winning tournaments. But he's good at, he's so consistent that he's good enough to get up there in the top 20.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, if you want some, Justin Thomas bets, take his matchups, those sort of things, I feel confident in that. But in the end, Jim Furyk's running away with this thing. Mark my words.
Okay. I mean, I'm laughing now, just like last week, and then tomorrow I'll be in awe. So hopefully this all happens again. I'm all for it.
All right, 200-1 Jim Furyk. That's our guy. UFC tonight at the DNVR bar, so make sure you come hang out. We've got plenty more to work with here on the slate for the rest of the day. But of course, first, I want to give a shout out to DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code DNVR when you sign up. And for a limited time, all new users can get a sign-up bonus up to $1,000. That's right, DraftKings Sportsbook has a sign-up bonus up to $1,000 when you use the code DNVR at sign-up only at DraftKings Sportsbook. And man, there's so many fun bets and props and odds boosts and different opportunities for you to get in on golf this week, or really anything that you're doing. So make sure you use the code DNVR when you sign up. Of course, you must be 21 or older, Colorado only. Bonus comprised of a first deposit bonus and a first bet match, each up to $500. Deposit bonus requires a 25x playthrough, and restrictions do apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. And yes, if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. People can help. Okay, Dre. What else do you have on the slate for us why don't you just tell the people what we have in UFC just in case they didn't see it last night?
Yeah, so what I really like, there are two big favorites in the main card, two exciting favorites in Calvin Kattar, who's, of course, in the main event, and Judo Thunder, who's just one of these really exciting, Abdul Razik Al Hassan, both in the minus 300s, but if you take them to win, by KO, TKO, or DQ, you're getting pretty nice odds there. So those are the two favorites we like. Then as far as underdogs, very, very intrigued by Ryan Benoit going against Tim Elliott. This is one where Tim Elliott might have the more well-rounded game. Benoit is going to be that on his feet guy who's really going to push the tempo and I think can find the finish here. And then Jimmy Rivera against Cody Stamann. This is going to be a really fun fight. Basically, minus 120 for Rivera, plus 100 for Stamann. We're leaning towards Stamann, though. We like that value. And I think the athleticism, power, and toughness will shine through in the end.
All right, man. I'm excited about our picks. I feel really good about our UFC picks tonight. And I hope you guys come down here and watch with us because it gets pretty rowdy in here when a UFC fight gets going on. Andre starts yelling things in Italian, and you never know what's going to happen after that. Okay, anything else you have for us heading into tomorrow? You've probably got a bunch of Serie A games of teams I've never heard of.
Yeah, Serie A, man, the ties killed me today. And we only have two games. And no, actually, I'm staying away from both of those. There's just not good value. But the Prem, we've got a pretty nice slate. Everton plus 107, hosting Aston Villa. Coaches I trust, Carlo Ancelotti's one of them. So Everton, I do like. Sheffield United, I wouldn't make this an official pick, but Leicester has fallen apart. Sheffield United has done nothing but play ugly soccer, lose us money, and also make me some money like that Wolves tie from last week. I would not be against taking Sheffield United plus 310 here. Man U finally stopped winning. They had that weird tie last week. I think they get back to it, but minus 315. That's just for parlays. Plus 120 Southampton at Brighton Hove Albion like that too. So Southampton and Everton, and then you can have some fun with sprinkling Sheffield United, maybe throw Man U into a teaser. La Liga has a loaded slate. You're not going to get Barca or Real at any good value unless you're putting them in a parlay. But do remember, if Real Madrid wins tomorrow, they have won La Liga. This is huge for both teams, and they're playing at the same time, so neither kind of knows what's going on.
And you took, I think, didn't you end up taking Barca to come back and win that at some point?
I did. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was in a massive futures only parlay I had that would pay 37 grand. So go Barca. Also, actually, Sevilla's a plus 200 tomorrow. You can get them against Real Sociedad. I think that's pretty nice value. So we got to see how invested they had. As some morning MLS, Atlanta United plays FC Cincinnati. Talk about teams you've never heard of before. FC Cincinnati, you can get Atlanta United minus 195. That seems like a lock to me as far as locks go in the MLS.
Is it FC Cincinnati one of those like USL teams or something?
They might as well. They might as well be. Yeah. And by the way, the Philadelphia Union, the one team you have said anything about MLS-wise, have already won 2 games and already gone forward to the qualification round. So there you go. Pat yourself on the back. Going with teams that don't have insane names sometimes is the right way to go.
Also, they're
Philadelphia Union.
Also, they're black and gold, which I ride with black and gold teams whenever possible.
Their goalie, Andre Blake, one of the great Andres in our world, too. So I ride with them for that also.
2 first names, though, just to keep in mind. I'm
Same way.
Kinda.
Simone in Italy is a first name. It's Simon. My name's Andre Simon, essentially, in Italy.
Is that a male name or it's a female
male name?
It's a male name. Oh,
Yeah,
because I feel like in the U.S., someone named Simone would be a girl.
Simone, would be a girl. Yeah. So any roster lists, everyone always thought my name was Simone and my last name was Andre. So I've kind of got that with Andre Blake too.
All right. Well, I won't make any comments about 2 first names then. I'm staying away from soccer. I need a break from soccer.
I could see it. Yeah, I could see it.
I was so hurt today.
Yeah.
It's like, when your team loses in the playoffs and you don't want to watch the rest of the playoffs until the Super Bowl or whatever event it is. That's how I feel. So I need a little break. Also, the MLS is, whatever. So I'm sticking with UFC tonight.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of we're going to be all over the golf this weekend. Yeah. All over the golf.
And we need some UFC tonight.
And we definitely need some UFC tonight after I went 1-4 last week, and I think you went 0-5.
Yeah.
So the worm must turn at some point, as Bud Black would say. And that's going to be tonight. Hopefully we'll see you guys down here at the DNVR bar. We'd love to hang out and watch UFC, drink some beers with you. So come on down if you're not doing anything, and let's hang out. But for now, it's going to wrap it up for us on DNVR Bets Daily. Hope you guys have a great day.